hope everybody's having a wonderful day and enjoying the drones that you have. In today's video, we're going to be talking about filters for the Mavic 3 Pro and the Cine version as well. These are the filters that DJI offers. These are great ND filters. But this is the pack that I'm going to be reviewing from Freewell. It's the all-day 8 pack. But what's the difference, right? Not only does it have more filters, not only does it cost less, but the filters are PL filters, and that means that they are polarized. Now, if you're not sure what's the difference between ND and polarized, I made a ton of videos for all the different type of drones that have been released on the market so far, talking about ND filters and polarized filters. Go back and check any one of those. I'll leave a link up here. However, for the purpose of this video, I will say that polarized helps to cut glare on glass, glare or reflections on water. If you can adjust your polarization correctly, it helps to cut that, because a lot of people don't want glare in their video. Yes, you can use ND filters for photography, but that's for long exposure photography, shooting waterfalls and stuff to get a nice milky effect. So you don't really use filters that much for drones in photography. All right. Now this is a, wow, it's a 2-pack. Very nice, very nice. This one has the circular polarized filter, and it has the ND 2000 for long exposure and the ND 1000 in case you want to get those nice milky shots of waterfalls and stuff. I made a video about that too with the Mavic Mini. Check it up here. It's the same principles apply for any drone. In here we have the main squeeze, the PL, so these ones spin, right? And we have the ND 8, 16, 32, and 64, which is pretty much the most common type of filters that you will need to use. It looks like an ND 32 day. These are pretty simple to take on and off. You press down and twist, and it pops right off. All right, so here we go. We've got the polarization now for the starters. I'm just gonna line the 2 lines up to the, that's a good starting point on the glass and the filter cover. I'm just gonna line those 2 lines up. That's a good starting point, right? And then obviously clean the glass. You want to make sure that your glass is always clean, like your glass is on your face. Like, you want to be seeing through dirty glass? No. So just make sure it's clean, and that's it. All right, up and away.
The home point has been updated. Please check it on the map.
Now, just let me show you my settings. I'm in the main camera. I'm in Pro mode. I like to leave my white balance around 5600. That's just a good starting point in the day and gives, you know, a nice clarity to everything. D-Log for this video, I don't want to shoot D-Log. I want to leave it in normal color, so that way we can check everything at the same color. Whereas if it's in D-Log, I may color one differently and color the other differently. So let's just keep things simple. 4K still looks good, just for consistency across all 3 cameras, because, and that's what I say when I say DJI has a lot of improvement to do, because all 3 cameras do not shoot 5.1K. So there's going to be a lot better drones coming in the future for people who want to do professional work. So all right, so here we go. We're on H2. We could select H.264, H.265. I still like H.264. That's just me. I'm an MP4. I like constant bit rate. I don't like the bit rate to vary. Now, if I'm shooting 4K 30, ideally my shutter should be 1/60, and I'm at perfect exposure. So this is also good if you want to double your frame rate. If you're shooting 4K 30, your shutter should be double, so it's 1/60. If you're shooting 4K 60, then your shutter should double, should be 1/120. So I'm shooting 4K 30, my shutter should be 1/60. Now you can deviate from the shutter rule, it doesn't have to be perfect, but ideally you want to stay on it. Now when I go around, it's at 0.00000. So it looks like I nailed the filter. It goes to -3, -7. Good, I nailed the filter pretty much for the main lens, and I don't see reflections or glare on the water. The water looks, you can see pretty much to the bottom, which is really, really nice. There is no glare or reflections. See that? That's the main camera. What about the 3x zoom? You could tap a button, jump straight into the 3x zoom. Oh my gosh. This looks really good. Let's do the same thing. 1/3260. This looks really good too. As a matter of fact, I'm double my frame rate. I'm shooting 4K 30 here. Let me make sure my white balance at 5600. I'm going to put it in normal. We're not doing D-Log or anything like that. H.264, MP4. We're looking good. We're looking good. 4K 30, double my frame rate. See my 4K 30. So my shutter's got to be 1/60. So I did select the right filter. You might ask, how do I know which filter to select? It comes with experience, right? You just got to keep using them and experiment with them. Now, there is no glare there. I mean, you can see where the cross is. They're like little ripples over there, but that's not really glare, so to speak. That looks like it's cut the glare a lot. And you look up, oh my gosh, this 3X camera is amazing. It just reminds me of the Mini 3, but it's the Mini 3 with the optical zoom. It's so nice. I'm gonna just jump into the 7X. Same settings here. I wanna be at 5600, H.264. Well, this doesn't have D-Log. And there we go. We want to be at 1/60, 3260. Now this one gets really dark at -2.7. And that's why I say DJI also has a lot of work to do, because they don't really match up either. You could see this, even though because the apertures are different. This is a 3.4 aperture. It's not a 2.8. So the main camera and the 70mm camera kind of line up with exposure, but this one will always be darker. So you just have to bear that into consideration. Is it a big deal? No, it still picks up the details and you can brighten it up in the post, but you will have some work to do to match these, at least this particular camera up. So DJI definitely could do some more work with the telephoto camera and probably the Mavic 4 whenever that gets released. But still, the image looks great to me. I've landed. I'm going to take off these filters. I am really liking this filter. Put on the original glass cover. Boom, put it back outside. Let's see if there's a difference. We're up in the air. Now, one thing we must discuss is that I can put it in Pro mode, but look what happens in Pro mode with the same settings that I had the ND filters on. I'm at 4K 30, normal, no D-Log or anything. But here, I cannot go double my frame rate because I'm shooting 4K 30. I should be at 1/60. I can't. 1/60 is just too bright. Now, with the main camera, it has the flexibility of adjusting an aperture, but even at f11, it just doesn't look good. Look at the sky, it's all blown out, even though it says it's at 0 exposure. It still doesn't look good. So what I want to do is keep it at f2.8, or f5.6. That's good. But I want to get a nice dark clean image where the sky is not blown out. So let's go to minus. Now I have to run my shutter at 1/500, which is insane. I won't have any motion blur with that. And when I look down, do I see glitter in the? Yes, I see a lot of glare here in the water. Yeah. Now I do prefer the color of the camera without filters, but color can be easily adjusted. I see much more glare here. The glare is much more prominent. Much more prominent. You can see the glare a lot more prominent there. Look down where the cross is. That's just like a cluster of glare. Just a whole cluster of glare. Look on the ground here. Let me jump to the next camera. And that's overexposed as well. As you can see, I have the same settings, basically 4K 30, 1/60. But then again, to get my nice smooth motion blur, 1/60 is not gonna work. So we're gonna have to ramp up the shutter. And the image still looks good, just not very, you won't get the motion blur, but it's gonna look pretty good. And same thing for the 7X. Wow. 7X, we will let the shutter run. There we go. Look how strong the glare is there. Geez, the 7X is bringing up each and every single piece of glare in the water. Look at that. You cannot stop those glares or those reflections in the water. Oh, you got some people on a boat over here. Yep. Look at that glare. Everything is just glare on the water. And now you see why people don't like glare, right? It takes away from the whole image and just the reflections. Look at the reflections and the glare over there. We didn't have that with the filters on. We absolutely did not. With the 3X, you can kind of see the moss at the bottom of the water here, but still not very clearly because of the glare. Look at all this glare, the reflections on the water. So yeah, so not only do NDPLs give you the advantage of ND, which is being able to film at double your frames per second, but it gives you that added bonus of cutting glares and reflections off water and off glass. So yeah, there you have it, guys. You've seen the difference between these NDPLs versus no filter on. You get the ND, which is being able to run double your frame rate, and you get the polarization, which helps to cut the glare. It's a 2-in-1. Is there a little trade-off in the color shift? Yes, but am I going to complain at the price of these filters? Because this entire all-day 8-pack of filters costs less than these DJI filters, which also shift the color too. Not as much, but there is color shift regardless. I have to take my footage into the DaVinci to do editing anyway, so I'll adjust the colors, get it to what I like, and I get to cut the glare, and I get to run my double my frame rate, yep, to get my 24 or 30 FPS nice clean motion blur look. So there you have it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a huge thumbs up. Make sure you hit like, make sure you hit subscribe if you guys want more videos like this, or you really want a dedicated full review of the Mavic 3 Pro. If you think that's necessary, light it up in the comment section, because whatever you guys ask for, that's pretty much what I focus on. And with that being said, I will catch you guys, well, whenever I can. Make sure you become a Patreon, guys. Big benefits to Patreon. Get direct access to me. Any questions? I'm right here on Patreon. Support this channel, and there's benefits. Last Mini 2 went all the way to the UK.